Hi there and welcome. I'm Jennifer and welcome to my intuitive reading channel where every week I upload a new reading, just the energies for the week. Thank you so much for joining me today. And today I am recording from Saskatchewan. I have bought a house in BC, but I've just come back to Saskatchewan for a quick visit with my dad and to grab a load of my belongings. So if you're interested at all, stay tuned. The house closes in just a little bit over a week, and at some point I will give you a tour if you like, of my new home and my new life. But anyway, so let's get started with the reading. So this is for the week of the 15th to the 21st of August. And I'm going to do 3 rows. So first 2 rows will just be about the general energies of the week. Whoops. And this is a general reading. So it's going to, some of the messages or energies will apply to you, some might not. Just take whatever works, leave the rest. And yeah, and it's just really stories about what's happening in our lives in a very general way. So what else was I going to say? Oh, the rows, so 3 rows. So the first 2 rows are of just the general energies. The third row is going to be messages from our higher self or guides. Interesting. Okay. So we have a lot of the same cards coming up this week that we have been getting. And actually, I mean, I watch a lot of, other YouTubers do readings as well. And I have seen a lot of these cards coming up in their readings too. So it's interesting when that happens. Not coincidences, but the, what's the word I want? The synchronicities. Okay, so this week we are starting with the 4 of Swords. So there is a time out of the sorts. I think it is, so what's coming to me is that it's a time out to not evaluate, but to just take in your current energies around you, whatever's happening in your life, and not reevaluate them, but like take a step back and just kind of look at the big picture and just to recalibrate if you need to recalibrate before you move forward. So so again, this is still what's coming to me. So it's like there's a plan in place, but is it right, or do you need to make a shift? I mean, it's always good to be flexible, right? So if you have a plan, and it's just good to be flexible. But anyway, so this 4 of Swords to me is just telling me it's like taking a step back, a little break, and looking at the bigger picture, and seeing if you do need to make small adjustments to the plan as you have laid it out. So next we have the Emperor. Wow, we got actually, that's interesting. I'm just realizing we have a lot of Major Arcana cards in this reading. We have, I'm just going to read them off to you. We have the Emperor, Death, Justice, the Hermit, the Lovers, the Magician, and the Hangman. So 7 out of 9 cards are Major Arcana. So this is like major life theme stuff happening here that we're talking about. So this is talking about major life changes, and so no wonder we need this little rest and pause at the beginning to see if we need to recalibrate our plan, because this is major. This is life-changing stuff we're talking about this week. So we have that that 4 of Swords, and then we move into the Emperor. And I think the Emperor is warning us, not warning, but it's a caution to make sure you do take that time out, because with that Aries energy, With the ram, you don't want to go in too headstrong, and you do want to be flexible with that concrete throne the emperor is sitting on, and he's facing us directly. So, it's sometimes going in and not going in with flexibility or a little bit more gentleness or softness into the future can cause problems down the road, or not really problems, but maybe some rough patches, right? So I think that is just, those two cards are just telling us it's good to take that little rest and not go forward headstrong that this is the way it's going to be, but to look at the bigger picture and see if you need to recalibrate. And then following that, we have the Death card. And I think that is just talking about what I was just saying about the major life shifting that we have being shown to us in the cards this week with all these Major Arcana cards, the major theme of our life. So this could be changing of relationships, changing where you move, changing careers. I mean, it could be so many things, but I mean, it is over, as I said, the life theme. So the Death card makes perfect sense that it is the end of one part of your life, or almost like a version of your life, and you're stepping into a completely new version, and carrying forward. So in the second row, we are starting with the Seven of Wands. So this is about like defending your position. I really feel that this is emphasizing that you are following your true path. So, because everyone is going to have their opinions about what they're doing. I mean, maybe they won't, but and I think it's important that as you are moving forward and walking your truth and making all these changes, that you keep listening to your heart, listening to your intuition, to your guides, your higher self, and trust that. And again, just not worrying about what other people are saying or their opinions. You can certainly listen to them and take them into account, but at the end of the day, you have only yourself to answer to. Okay. So then following that, we have the Justice card. So this can be a couple different things. So I realized that last week I was talking or speaking of a legal situation that was ending. This is actually, the Justice card is in the middle of the deck this week. So it can be about bringing balancing between your ego self, the basic human part, and then the energetic, the higher vibrating version of you, and bringing them into balance. So there's that type of balance. There's balancing what you're doing, the busyness in your life in the 3D, with taking time out to create space, meditation, so that you are keeping that connection and in alignment with your purpose, your soul purpose at this point. But it can also be talking about justice being brought. So it could be also referring again to the legal part that I had mentioned last week that was coming to an end. Okay, and then following that, we have the Hermit. So this again is about taking that time inward. Okay, so maybe that is what the Justice card was referring to. I hadn't connected those two, but it's again, I think, with him standing on the mountain, and so he's taking in a bigger perspective from the view up top, but he's also connected within. He is alone, so it's taking that time out to reinforce and keep nurturing that connection with your inner self, your higher self, and all that. And it's about bringing your light into the world. And I feel like that's a very big part of the reading as well. So, and then next, and we had this card last week as well, the Lovers. This is about falling in love with your life all over again, falling in love with yourself too. It's letting go of the judgments, self-judgments, which are huge. And again, those limiting beliefs, which are all part of it, right? And letting those go. So there's a shift in that, but it's a dawning of a new day, and just very, very positive things here. And then we have the Magician. So this is about you having all the tools, the wisdom of alchemy. So this is taking everything that you have experienced, all your lessons, all your wisdom, all your education, and everything, and bringing it forth and stepping into that, and not hiding behind fears and doubts, but knowing that you are walking your truth, shining your light, as in the Hermit card, although he's got that lantern held up, and that star is, which is representing your light, is still in there, but it's coming. And so finally the last card is the Hanged Man, which is like enlightenment. So it's truly surrendering to what you know is the truth, your path, and just allowing it to be, and letting that guide you forward. So that is really the reading for the week. It is very general, but when you're dealing with huge, big cards like the Major Arcana, I mean, they're major life theme cards here, so it's hard to get really specific on what they could be relating to. But overall, this reading, like I said, is just about really a change, major change in your life, a different lifestyle, starting a new life, really. But taking that time out at the beginning of the week to rest, reflect, and see if you need to recalibrate. And then in the beginning of the second row, defending your position and trusting the path that you are on, and not being affected by others' opinions or thoughts, or even pressures, or what you believe they might be expecting of you, those expectations, but just knowing that you are in the flow and doing what you need to do. So yeah, so really it's a beautiful reading this week. I hope everyone is doing very well. Thank you again for your support, and if you do enjoy my videos, I would love your help, your support in that, in sharing, liking the video, and subscribing if you haven't subscribed, and it is free to do that. So until next week, and I will be back in Salmon Arm again next week, and so we'll see you then. And remember that you are loved, you are love, and that I love you. So take care. We'll see you soon. Bye.